All right, if you're with me so far, got the battery charger out here and I just rigged up a small switch so I can pump this fuel out. I hope this battery charger actually does the trick, because my old battery charger was better for this sort of thing. It's way away from the tank, so there should be no problem with sparks. So, got the fire extinguisher just in case. Let's see if we can pump some fuel out. I don't play around with stuff like this. So, let's see if it works. Yeah, it's working. I think I might have tripped my battery charger though. We'll see. This might take a little while, but I'm not in a hurry. All right, I'm not trying to beat on this because it can make a spark, and I'm just paranoid about things like that. So this is something which is a square shank on it. You can use any tool you can think of, and I'm just going to kind of wedge it in here and see if I can't twist it off. There we go. There we go. There we go. That should just pop out of there. Well, that's kind of hard to tell, but it looks pretty filthy to me, but inside the tank doesn't look bad. I don't like using metal stuff on fuel tanks, but I don't have any choice. Just gonna try not to make any sparks. Yay, it didn't blow up. Good. Funny, the gasket looks fine in there. So the pump comes with the inlet and outlet, or return and outlet, right there. And according to the documentation, they take these fittings here. Yeah, close up for you there. So we're going to see about putting those in, since they're O-ring. All right, so these go on here like this. Now, at first I was like, how are you going to get these things on here? Because, well, first of all, you have to not be palsy. So, come on, screw in there. Come on. Jeez. Stop it. Thank you. Catch. I'm like, how are you going to get both these on? So, as it turns out, they are swivel. Did not know that. All right, so this does turn a little bit, and that'll allow them to go on there. I was like, there's no way that they would tell you to do that. Okay, so mystery solved. Let's go ahead and get these things on here. I'll go ahead and... I'm not going to do final tightening until I figure out the orientation that I want. But I will just kind of sort of get it on there finger tight for now. Unfortunately, I'll have to use a wrench because the fact that it touches the other one. Now this bottom will turn. I just can't do it by hand because it's a really tight seal there. So stand by. So evidently I wasn't recording just there, so I just put the sock on the bottom here and I tighten these down a little bit. They're not fully tight. Sorry about the wind out here. One thing I'm not really too keen on this is, this doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, unless you want to just replace the pump module, but I just don't see myself doing that often. They could have just as easily made these wires go straight to these connections here. This is just going to be kind of floating around in the gas tank, which to me just, I don't really care. I don't think it's going to hurt anything, but it just seems stupid to me. So whatever. We're going to go ahead and see if we can't get this thing in here. So fold that. Let's see. Try not to smash it. Oh, that gasket's still on there. I didn't realize that. All right, there is a reservoir inside the tank, and I want to make sure that this thing goes in there. This is the way it's going to go. All right, so the reservoir is a little bit offset from straight down. So as I put this in here, I want to make sure that everything goes kind of the proper way. All right, this is take two because I messed up the first time. You guys don't get to watch that part. Maybe in the outtakes. So, A, make sure you put this on first. That wasn't my only screw up. And then B, this has to make, there's kind of an order to make all this stuff go in, but importantly, you've got to make sure that this is kind of, I don't have to do that, I'll just stick it here. That ring is reasonably clean, unobstructed. Man, there's still some gunch there. God dang it. All right, so the order is this has to go in first. This is the gasket. Don't forget that. All right, now as this goes in, both the return and the filter have to be in the little pocket inside, and so there's very little room. You got to kind of get this guy in here first. I've had to do this a couple times already, so this has to go in first. And there ain't a lot of room. And then this has to go in second after the pump goes in. And all of it has to be in the sump. So that's where it gets a little tricky because there's just not a lot of room to get it all through this hole and oriented where it has to be. So I have to look through the hole here to get it right. on, baby. Almost there. Try not to fry the wires in the process. All right, there we go. So there. All right. So it's in, then the ring has to go on, which is here. All right, so it gets to that point and it's not tight, and then as it turns a little bit more, it tightens down. So I'm gonna go get a tool for this. I really don't like using things that could create sparks while I do this, but you got to get it on there. So I'm just going to use whatever I can find. All right, as far as you know, I used a brass drift so it wouldn't create a spark, and a hammer to twist this until it's down there. All right, so I very carefully cleaned off the ring around here. I had a leak before. I don't want to get any kind of paint or anything. That's probably what caused it in the first place. I had a vacuum the whole time on while I'm just kind of very gently sanding around there to get the paint and stuff off. I don't want a leak there again. So, all right, last part for this section is that I cleaned up the ring around the bottom there pretty good, make sure that nothing fell in the tank, and also redid the sender connection with a weather pack and some new sheathing. And when I go to put it back in the tank, I'll do the other end with the mating connector. All right, so I think it's time to move on.